Hey everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Top 5 Friday. Every Friday we get together and we have a look at the top 5, something normally to do with Blood Bowl, and we are continuing our quest for the best alternative teams in Blood Bowl this week. And this is actually a really good one. So we've been looking at all the teams, and we've been looking at third-party alternatives. The Games Workshop teams are almost without fail really, really good. But the great thing about Blood Bowl is you want more. More Blood Bowl is more better, more teams are more better, and sometimes you just want something different, something special, something spicy, something interesting or unique. And actually going through the third-party alternatives has been really fun to do. Now, Snotlings. Snotlings, for me, are the team that landed, and that's where Blood Bowl changed. From great to really great. They've introduced a new team with nonsense stuff for the fun of the game, and that was awesome. But it was also a pretty big turning point in third-party team designs. Kind of a brand new team, so there wasn't a huge amount to work with. So we put out a post on social media at the beginning of the week, and you guys made some great suggestions, so we're going to have a look at the top 5 Snotling third-party alternative teams. Okay, and number 5 is, I'm afraid to say, an incomplete team. Snotlings landed, and you need Snotlings, right? You need trolls, that's easy. Then you need the pump wagons, then you need the bomber dudes, then you need the hopper dudes, then you need the stilty dudes. So there's a bunch of really cool and very unique positionals, and that means that actually kit bashing your own, brewing up another one, finding alternative models to stand in can be really challenging when putting together a Snotling team. But I wanted this one to hit top 5 because it was called out by a couple of viewers, and I think rightly so. And I think if you are in the market to brew up your own Snotling team or add to a Snotling team, then you've got to check out Black Scorpion. So Black Scorpion do a box, it's not even a box, is it? It's a blitzer of tiny Snotlings for £12. 10 of them for £12. I think there's a little £4 packet as well. £6 for 4 as well. So if you want more Snotlings, if you want to add Snotlings to an Underworld team, or you need to top up the amount of Noblars on an Ogre team, that kind of thing, then actually these guys are brilliant. And I think we've looked at them before on Top 5 Friday, but they are just some of the most fun sculpts out there. They're old school, they're sculpted old school, and they've just got this wonderful vibe. The proportions and the design, it just makes me really feel like this is from 1995, 1996. Even the basing style matches, and I don't know, there's just something about it that I really love. You got the knight helmet, you got some really cool and clever designs there. Now, definitely not enough for a Snotling team, right? This is £12 for 10. That's just Snotlings. Then you're going to need to find some trolls. Black Scorpion have got a couple of trolls, but then you need to find your fungus flingers and your stilties and your hoppers. And sadly, Black Scorpion are not the place to go for that. But if you just want to pick up some vanilla Snotlings to start your team, to add to your team, maybe for riotous rookies, then Black Scorpion is definitely worth a look. Number 4, it's Calibre 3D. Now, there's some really cool elements to this team. I've not really seen or been involved much with the Calibre stuff. The way they do their renderings, it doesn't inspire me. But I tell you what, a Snotling ship, a Snotling land ship with actual dudes on, it is really great, and I really like to see this too. So this is the Snotling upgraded team. It's an STL only, but definitely you can get some on Etsy. $19.50, so you know, what's that, £15 for the STLs for this team. You get a couple of trolls, you get a couple of pump wagons, you get a couple of stilties, you get a plethora of bouncy boys, and you get a bunch of Snotlings too. Now, if you are looking for an alternative Snotling team, you don't want to pick up the Games Workshop one, we'll come back to that. Actually, this is a really cool one. You got the land ship, which is brilliant. You got a pump wagon that looks very similar to the Games Workshop one, and it's got little rock guys in. I mean, they've really gone to town adding a load of cool details for this. So if you're looking for an alternative, then it's great. That land ship is just magic. I absolutely love it. And the trolls are really cool too. They fit the kind of theme of that Games Workshop universe. There's a couple of sculpts that just look a bit weird. I don't know, it's the faces or something like that. But actually, I reckon that painted up, this team would look really, really cool. And the rock dudes kind of look like Pokemon, which I'm fine with. I love that they've redone them with actual kind of weapons to make them more kind of interesting. I think that's a really clever way of doing it. Good trolls as well, and a myriad of little snotlings. And there's your flinger, throwing a little fungus bomb. I guess that's the other guy throwing actual mushrooms. Nope, that's the other guy. And then, have we looked at all of them? You've got the guy with the ball, guy with that. You've got the bombers, you've got the bounders. It's a full-on team. How many models we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, I don't know, like 20 different places, 20 different models in this team. It's actually really good. The trolls are decent. The ship is brilliant. I think this is a really great alternative if you're looking for something other than the Games Workshop team. That's Calibre 3D. Number 3, and it's pegged up a spot just, I guess, out of, I don't know, I really like this. So this is the Molokai team from MG Pix. MG Pix did this massive Kickstarter last year called the West Cross, and it had the stadium, it had a really wicked undead team, and then it had the Molokai just chucked in there as well. Now this is kind of like a team made of giant-headed tribal things. I don't know what they are. Now, I think they're only available in the $50 all-in, and I really do like the undead team, so it's probably swayed me here. Here we go, we've got a little picture of the Molokai. I'm going to flip over in a second to the... That's trash, that one, isn't it? Open link in new tab. Open image in new tab. That didn't work. Alright, never mind. We've got the actual Kickstarter page here. Now, I think we did... I think we did a bit of a review for this, actually, and I think I printed out some of the Molokai, and actually it's got a really cool but gribbly kind of design element to it that I really like as an alternative. It's not just a, hey, here's some snotlings. It is a, here's a theme. Here is this weird... It's just weird. It's a weird... Hey, we did do it. Nice. Where's the pictures of the Molokai? Here we go. This is the picture of the Molokai. Open image in new tab. There we go. We can kind of see. And it just looks like these weird face mask creatures. And they are demonic. And they are weird. And this is the closest thing we've got, right, to an undead stunty team. And that's why it's 0.3 on this list for me. Is because it is weird. It is gribbly. And you get all the positionals in there, which is a very important thing here. So we'll be looking at these teams, and actually the fact that you've got some big boys to be your trolls, and they're creepy, and you've got some pump wagons, and you've got little guys on bounders, and you've got a guy throwing a metal thing to be your bomber. It's a cool alternative take at the Snotling team, and I really like it, and the Snotling roster gives you a cool way of just getting a different bunch of models to the pitch with a pretty great and fun roster. I mean, ultimately, if you're running Snotlings, you're kind of just running Hack Phlegm, right? But cool undead Snotlings, very good. Number 2, it's our friends at Grubo Games, and I think this is the first Cutie Malls team that's actually made it legit to a top 5, which is nothing against the models. They're wonderful. It's just normally there's kind of some really good alternatives. Specifically, Grubo normally just creates their own, right? Anyway, they haven't created a Snotling team, but they have created several Cutimals team, and this one here, again, we did a review of it when it came out, is awesome for a Snotling team. So this is the Limerin Clan team bundle. This is €75, and we'll talk about the Snotling team kind of at the end of the video, I think, the Games Workshop one. Right, I don't know where to start with this. You get absolutely flipping everything with this team. How many models do you get? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and a banana ball, if would you believe it. So 22 models in this set, €75. You get 2 sloths to be your trolls. You get 2 of the cutest pump wagons imaginable. It's so good. Then you get the most wonderful little hopper dudes as well. We're going to flick through this. This is the best of the Cutimals teams. Oh man, this is wicked. They're so adorable. They've done a really good job. Now, it's on the list, but I know there's a lot of you out there that are kind of like, I don't really want this in my Blood Bowl world. But I don't know. There's a lot of people who are going to be kind of like, that is a cool alternative, and that's what we're looking at. Here's a bomber. There's a bomber. There's a bouncer. And there's the other bouncer riding around on giant frogs. Not really giants, I guess, just larger than normal frogs. It's a really cool design. The sloths are awesome. The pump wagons are just so much fun. I got to build a couple of these, and they are just excellent models. And that's a guess, I guess, why this is so high on the list. It comes with everything. The sculpts are beautiful. It's been executed perfectly. They couldn't have done a better job. The quality's great. The sculpting's brilliant. The price is fine. Actually, if you want an alternative Snotling team, you can go this route. If you want an excuse to run a team that looks like this, then this is definitely the one for you. But with this roster, you can also run them as halflings, which I think is a really advantageous thing to all the Cutimals range. 2 sloths, all the little guys as halflings. You've got, I don't know, you've got your bomber star player sorted out. You've got Rumbelow sorted out. You can just flex out to however you want to do it. So it's an alternative, a very alternative team, but it is beautiful. It's well executed, and it gives you a nice bit of flexibility. So that is Grubo Games number 2. Which brings us to number 1, which is the Punga Miniatures Moonshine Snotlings. This is not my favourite Punga team, but I think this does deserve to be number 1 in this ranking. And from all the comments that we got, actually, you agree with us. So, Punga have a Patreon. They produce STL files. If you've got a printer, you sign up. You get some files. You print your team. Magical. If you don't have a team, you go to the Bonehead shop. And you don't have a printer, you go to the Bonehead shop and we print them for you and you're happy too. But they tend to lean really heavily into their themes. Normally, it's pirates, right? That's kind of what Punga do. It's kind of like we've done a halfling team and it's pirates. We've done this team and it's pirates. Well, this time they went with what I could only describe as kind of like a hillbilly vibe, which is not my favourite, but we've got to give it to them. It has been perfectly executed, and it is a great alternative. So, if you have got the files, you'll be fine to print them. If you don't have them, like I said, we can print them, or you can pick up the bundle for $60. If you want that at a cheaper rate, I think if you join the Punga Patreon, you normally get a discount for some of their teams every now and again, so it's a much better way of doing it. Anyway, the Moonshine Snotlings, you've got all the positionals. There's a ton of these ordinary Snotlings, right? A ton of them, they're great. But the best bits are, I'm going to have to open the image in another window, I think, because it's just, open image in new tab. Here we go. Let's zoom in. You've got a Stilty here, and that Stilty is riding around on a heron, which is ridiculous. Then you've got this guy over here who is bouncing around on a frog. And you've got your throwing guy there, and you've got what is just on its own is just a really cool take on the pump wagon with a lot of great sculpting, a lot of great dynamism there. You got the guy at the back, you've got him on his little bucket. It's brilliantly done, and that's why this is top of the list. Is if you're looking for an alternative Snotling team, this really has been done brilliantly. You've got trolls here with alternate heads. You've got some fun things. You've got another frog guy. You've got I guess he's got like wrenches and he's moving on them, and he's got a little builder's hat. It's a really weird theme. There's your banjo guy, but it is a brilliantly put together thing, and you are going to end up with everything that you need to run a Snotling team. Now, there's a massive caveat to that, which is if you want a hillbilly theme, you're going to love it. If you're not in the market for a hillbilly theme, then this may not be the team for you. But that is the number 1 of our top 5. But I think it's really important that we talk through the Games Workshop team, because this box set is awesome. You get 4.6 billion Snotlings and 2 pump wagons, which are they are fun to build, but they're awesome, right? Now, the downside of the Snotling team is that you will need 2 trolls, and you can go and pick up a couple of the Games Workshop Blood Bowl trolls. What you should do is pick up a box of the Rock Gut Troggoth trolls. They're about 30 quid for 3. That gives you 2 plus 1 for Ripper, your star player ogre, star player troll as well. So for the box of Snotlings, say about 30 quid. For Rock Gut Troggoths, about 30 quid. 60 quid, you got everything you need for that team. That is about right for Games Workshop for Blood Bowl teams. There are only a few teams where you only need 1 box. You might need some more Snotlings down the road for Riotous Rookies, but you can find a way around that. Hey, pop along to Black Scorpion. So as a starting point, it's really good. The team is beautiful and it's just well executed. It is my favorite Games Workshop team. I think it is. They're just, you got trumpets. It's trumpets, right? It's so good. But it also means that there's a lot of flexibility there. For one box, you get the pump wagons, you can upgrade your pump wagons, you can find your third-party trolls and chuck it with it, you can mix the Snotlings in with it, and then beyond the Games Workshop team, it is one of the harder teams to proxy because you need a throwing bomber guy, you need a bouncing around guy, and you need a guy with stilts. They need to be differentiated. You need to know the difference between them. You can have one flying and one on a creature or something. I don't know. You can definitely pull them apart. But when it comes to getting other models to represent, it's actually quite difficult to make sure that they're clear and to make sure that they're the right scale to be strength 1. So actually, if you want to play Snotlings, the Games Workshop kit is 100% the best way to go. There are some great third-party stuff, and we've looked at it, but none of them are just perfect. They've all got great angles. They've all got great elements to it. They're heavily stylized. They're beautifully executed. They've got a boat, which is wicked. This gives you the chance to curate what you want. You're going to start here. You can add some different pump wagons. You can add some trolls from a third party that you really like. We'll get the Games Workshop ones. Or you can pick up, one of these teams and then add different trolls. Snotlings are a tough team to proxy, but they are so much fun on the pitch. And ultimately, the Games Workshop box is really good. And I don't think we have a real clear-cut, top-tier alternative from third parties. You've got some great ones, some fun ones, but nothing there screams, this is the best team out there. I think that is very clearly held by the Games Workshop one, but you've got to find your trolls. So even the Games Workshop team is incomplete, which makes Snotlings a bit of a mission, but they are definitely worth it. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this team in the comments below, and we'll be back soon with more Bubble content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.